Guys, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Today we're going to be talking about how to start investing at a young age, early on in your life, early in your 20s, even as a teenager if you want, and how to potentially retire before you're 30 through financial freedom, which is done through passive income or residual income streams, which we talk a lot about on this channel. Now, I know a little bit about this because I started investing in my 20s as well, my late 20s, and I gave up 10 years of my life because I actually went off to school and I ordered what was called the Carlton Sheets program. This may be a little bit before your time, but it was the first TV infomercial, or one of the first ones that really made an impact, and a lot of people bought this program, just like I did, but I bought it on my parents' credit card and quickly was told I had to turn it back, right? So I often wonder where I'd be if I didn't have those 10 lost years and could have been investing all the way through my 20s, which is what I hope you guys do. So if this is in your heart and this is what you want to do, you're along the right path, which we'll talk about. So you need to go out there and get educated, which we'll get into here in just a second. But if you are in college, what you need to understand is this: don't waste this opportunity. I think a lot of people go off to school and they're too young and they're not mature enough to understand that they're actually learning things that are going to be valuable later in their life. Like myself, I just showed up to class and did the least amount possible to get through college. Sound familiar? It's kind of what people do at a job, right? They show up and do just the least amount that they have to do to still get that check. And that's the problem when they jump into the world of entrepreneurship, because they're not creating value to the marketplace, they're just showing up. And so I used to have it as a badge of pride on my shoulder that I graduated college with the exact 0.1 of a degree that I needed to get to basically graduate, right? And people were like, oh my gosh, that's so great, you barely made it through, congratulations. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I played college perfect. I thought I did it the best I could, which means that I showed up the least amount, did the least amount possible, but still got the same outcome. And that's not the way you live life, right? I was too young and too naive to not know how powerful education is, which is step one, guys. You're gonna have to self-educate yourself, which you're doing right now, so congratulations. You're gonna have to watch the YouTube videos, listen to the podcasts, go out there to the seminars, to the REI clubs, guys, meet the mentors. You're gonna have to do what it takes to get this knowledge. So we have two different ways we learn: through what we call street justice, going out there, getting kicked in the face, falling down, standing up, moving forward, or learning through wisdom. And you're learning through wisdom right now. You're learning through my mistakes. I'm gonna share with you what I've learned on my journey to help you get to where you're trying to get to quicker. But a lot of y'all need to take advantage of what you're learning in school right now. Okay, so let's dig in here, guys. Step one, self-educate yourself. Learn anything and everything you can, but don't try to do it all at once. I'm gonna tell you which strategies to learn first and incrementally step your way up. Because if you try to do it all at once, guys, it's gonna get you to a point of burning out. You're gonna get discouraged because you can't take on all these different ideas and strategies all at once, and you don't need to. So first thing is, while you're working, as you can see there, you start educating yourself. So Jim Rohn has a famous saying: as you have a job or you work for a business, you work to make a living while you're at your business or while you're at your job, but over here you work on your fortune and your freedom. So what you need to understand is you have to have some type of active income coming in. And yes, I know I preach on here all the time about how active income is horrible and we don't need it. You have to have some money coming in, right? While you pay your bills, while you cover your liabilities to live your life, you have to make some money. But every other minute of your time, you need to turn the TV off. You need to stop wasting time going out partying, guys. If you want to be serious about this and you want to retire early and have that lifestyle you've always dreamed about, you need to make sacrifices. So work a job, cover your liabilities to live, but at the same time, you need to start working on your financial freedom through real estate investing and getting educated. So number two, for a lot of you, this could be the best way to move forward. You can go find a mentor. There's a lot of investors or individuals in your marketplace that came before you, right? They have made mistakes before you, and they can help you in the business on your way to the top, right? Now, a lot of times they're going to either charge you to help you do this, or they're going to charge you through experience and getting 50% of your deal. Either way, there is no free lunch in this business, guys, and this information is not readily available. And even though you're gonna get a lot of help here on YouTube and help from people at the REI clubs, what's gonna happen when you get in a lifetime situation at a property when things are melting down? Who's gonna come out there and kind of help you with these contractors? You're gonna need someone to kind of help you through along the way. And it's a good idea to reach out to some of those older investors who you know are serious, but be very careful, guys. There's a lot of them that are looking to take advantage of you. And you just wanna make sure that you're working with a known reputable investor in your area, or real estate agent that's going to help you and kind of take you under their wing, because a mentor is one of the fastest ways to kind of jumpstart your career. So get educated, find a mentor. Now is when you start understanding the business. You need to start researching lead generation, how to find deals, how to market to motivated sellers, people who are in distressed situations who don't want to go through the traditional sales process of working with a real estate agent. People who are in bankruptcy, who are going to foreclosure, who are having back taxes, on code enforcement lists. Guys, there's lots of different ways. We have other videos talking about lead generation, and there's all sorts of videos online talking about this as well. But you need to start understanding lead generation for buyers and sellers. Why are we looking for both of these? Because the quickest and easiest way and the lowest barrier of entry for you to get in this business is wholesaling, right? Which is the next step. This is the way I got into the business. This is the way that almost every real estate investor I know that starts out at a young age gets into the business, because it doesn't take a lot of money. You don't have to raise money on the front end, and that can be very, very difficult to do, to go straight into flipping houses if you don't know how to raise money or you don't have money to leave in these deals. Because if you don't have any credibility in the marketplace and you're not in the business, who's gonna lend you money? And if you don't have money to leave in the deal, like a hard money loan, which could be $15,000 to $20,000 left in each deal that you're doing starting out, how are you gonna start out flipping if you're just out of college with no money? So wholesaling is the cheapest, lowest barrier of entry to the business. So what we're essentially doing with wholesaling houses, guys, is we're contracting properties with an option to buy them, and then we're selling our beneficial rights and interests of that contract to another investor that does have the money to close on it. A landlord, an owner finance investor, a rehabber, right? So we're gonna go out there and market to the marketplace, seller lead generation to sellers, right? Motivated sellers. We're gonna contract a house, say, for $100,000, and we're gonna sell that contract to another buyer who's gonna keep it as a rental property for, let's say, $110,000. We're gonna get what's called an assignment fee, the $10,000 difference, and we're gonna get paid at closing. This is the quickest way to start building your business. Now, most wholesale deals, depending on which market you're in, are between $5,000 and $15,000. This is the quickest way for you to get a check, the least amount of risk, guys, and go out there and do your own research on wholesaling houses. There's a lot of people that teach this, right? So that's the first thing I do. Also, and alongside this, a lot of you, it may be good to go get your real estate license. Now, the real estate license is good because you're gonna get access to the MLS, you're gonna be able to run comps, it's gonna make your business life a lot easier. Plus, you're gonna get opportunities to pick up listings and work with buyers along the way, and you're gonna get some experience in the business. Now, as you all know, I run a real estate team that operates in, I think, 13 states right now. We're going into more states here soon. So if you wanna reach out and you wanna join our team, just contact me at info.investorarmy@gmail.com, and we'll talk about how you can work directly with me. Now, having a real estate license has many benefits. For example, if you go buy rental property, those people, or say you go buy a house and contract it and they need to wholesale, and you're helping them sell that house, they need to go buy a new house, right? And then you can maybe find them that new house. So there's lots of different ways a real estate license can work alongside a new real estate professional when they're getting into the business. So you may want to look into that. Plus, it's very cheap to get it. Now, step 5, this is very, very important. This is why I see most young entrepreneurs fail. They want to keep up with the Joneses. They want everything now, right? They don't understand the difference between immediate and delayed gratification. So you need to be a little bit patient right here, guys, and understand delayed gratification, because the quicker you multiply your money by compounding it, by reinvesting it, the faster you're gonna hit your goals and dreams. So you need to save that money to reinvest, because the next step is you're gonna graduate from wholesaling into flipping houses. So guys, what I'm trying to do here is take you through kind of, if you look at like one of those posters where they show like a monkey and then a caveman and then a human being as we're stepping up the ladder of evolution, that's what we're kind of doing here with the real estate world. So we're gonna go from wholesaling into flipping houses. But the fastest way for you to get into flipping a house is to get into a hard money loan. But you're gonna have points up front, you're gonna have origination fees, you're gonna have to leave money in the deal, you're gonna have to leave what's called a temporary down payment. Most hard money lenders make you leave that in there. It could be $8,000 to $15,000. Then you're gonna have to fund that first repair budget and get that first draw funded. So most houses that y'all are gonna flip, you're gonna leave between $15,000 and $20,000 into that. So while you work your job, or while you're wholesaling houses or selling houses as an agent, you need to start putting some of that money away in an effort to reinvest that money into getting into your first flip. Because wholesale deals are good, but flipping houses is better because the checks are much, much bigger, right? So you can make anywhere between $20,000 and $100,000 on a flip, right? Depending on which market you're in. Typically, most people are making between $20,000 and $40,000 a rehab. How many houses do you have to rehab making $40,000 a piece to kind of set yourself in a very good position in life, right? So we're gonna try to graduate into flipping houses from wholesaling houses, but these are both active transactional income strategies, right? So we're gonna move into flipping houses, but we're gonna become bank financeable during this time period. Now, most of the time, it's gonna take you about 2 years to become bank financeable. So we're gonna use these active or transactional income strategies, wholesaling houses and flipping houses. These are strategies where we get one deal, we sell that deal, we get paid once, and then the income stops. We have to go find another deal. So that's why it's an inefficient income stream. Even though people make a lot of money doing active or transactional income streams, it doesn't have the longevity that you need to set yourself financially free. That comes through passive income, which we'll talk about here in just a second. So we're gonna start wholesaling, save up a little money, use that money to get into flipping houses. And by the time that we're ready to start flipping houses, we should have wholesaled enough houses. And while you're wholesaling these houses, guys, after you wholesale the house, go back and look what that rehabber did, how much the house sold for. This is the best way to understand, if you were to flip that house yourself. So you wholesale, you go back in, you see what they did, you look at the repairs they did, you see what they sold it for, you maybe even contact them, ask them how much they spend on it. So you're learning as you're doing the business, so you have less risk when you actually start closing on these properties to flip them. Because once you close on a house, guys, it's not like wholesaling. The anxiety of the world picks up, the stress and pressure of that loan comes on top of you. You have carrying costs, you have loan fees, taxes, insurance, water, electric. It can be very, very stressful. And so you just want to make sure there's enough room in these deals and you know what you're doing so you have confidence in it and going forward. Now, as we start making a bunch of money, we become bank financeable. What do we do next, guys? We need to start keeping assets. So you hear millionaires are made all the time through owning real estate, not selling real estate, but owning real estate. It's a completely different thing, right? So agents and wholesalers and flippers can make a lot of money, but you can get wealthy, really, really wealthy by owning capital assets, and creating passive income will set you financially free. So we're going to start raising money, step 8, right? While we're in the process of flipping houses and wholesaling houses, we're building up some credibility in the marketplace, and we're reaching out to private investors in the area. We're talking to hard money lenders. We're working on getting credit lines so that we can start buying properties, right? And then we're going to start buying houses to build a rental portfolio. And if you go back just a few videos ago, guys, we talk about the BRRRR method strategy. This is where we're buying a discounted property that needs a lot of work on it. We're raising money to close on these deals on the front end. We're paying a lender interest, simple debt financing. We're closing on the property. We're fixing it up, putting money into it through a repair budget. We're making the house nice. We're forcing that appreciation up. And then we're going back to the bank and we're refinancing out after we put a tenant in there and season that property. So this is what we're gonna try to do. We're gonna try to buy a house at a discount, fix it up, force the appreciation up, rent it out, and then we're gonna pull our money out and we're gonna start making cash flow, right? So let's say we have a house that we're all in for $80,000. We go back to the bank to get 80% loan to value refinance. They appraise it for $100,000. They're gonna give us an $80,000 amortized loan. We take that $80,000, pay back all our underlying liabilities. Now we have no money in that deal. We may be making $400 net cash flow after our liabilities. So the benefits of owning real estate, guys, is long-term appreciation. You can write off the depreciation. You have monthly cash flow, and you're building up equity in that property as it's paying down, right? So that's why you want to start owning assets. We have other videos talking about this, guys, on the channel. Go back and start looking at those. So once you get about 20 rental properties, guys, say 20 by $400 a month, do the math. Most people spend about $4,000 to $6,000 a month to live. So quickly you can see by stacking these $400 a month rent payments, you're basically gonna create financial freedom for yourself at a young age. So if you did this first part of the process, wholesaling and flipping houses over a 2 to 3 year period, then over a 5-year period, you start buying 4 to 6 houses a year, you can see how quickly you can retire in your 30s. And a lot of people have done it, and this is what I want for you. After you start doing this, guys, you're gonna learn though, tenants can be a headache, there's long-term liabilities, houses flood, things happen. You may want to move into the owner financing world, which is the next step in the ladder of evolution for the real estate investor. You move into the owner financing world, so you're basically learning how to be a private bank. You no longer have to deal with tenants, termites, and toilets as much as you do when you're dealing with rental properties. Yeah, I know some of y'all are gonna say you have to take properties back sometimes, guys. Of course, I'm just kind of giving you a good idea of a overhead look down on the process on how to get up through the real estate world. Now, after you've kind of gone through this process, you can start looking into creative financing, or you can do it along the way, looking into subject to types of deals, owner finance wraps, lease options, other ways to do the business, creative, no money down strategies. But this is the quickest way to get in the business and create financial freedom for yourself in a few years. Start at wholesaling, save up some money, move into flipping, become financeable, start a rental portfolio. When the headaches get big, keep some assets, keep some rentals, but start owner financing them. And then you can always go off and start building houses, building infill lots, building subdivisions, going into apartment complexes. There's so many things you can do in real estate, guys. This can change your life. And I just urge you to go out there and work hard and study and kind of go out there and fail your way forward, because that's how you win in business. You go out there, you fail, you get up, try it again. and then eventually you start winning. So guys, I hope that helps and gives you kind of a good idea of the path to go through, because wholesaling is the cheapest way to get into business or getting your real estate license. And then as you save up that money, you can start to graduate into the next type of exit strategies. If you haven't already done so, guys, and you like today's video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell as well. Comment below if you like the video, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a good day.